Karma Sutra shooter? Are you a multi-position chandelier swinging sort of a shot, or lie down and think of England? Plus, free-range chicken fox box. We're protecting the poultry with thermal and night vision. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. Over the past few series of rucksack and rifle, Tim has shot from high seats, off sticks, off rucksacks and freehand driven shooting. These are all very different techniques, and to do yourself, your guide and your animal the justice it deserves, you need to train. You need to discover the Karma Sutra, or possibly the Karma Shooter. So today Tim has invited 3 fellow shooters to come and shoot steel targets on his farm, but he's not going to make life easy.
We're having a bit of fun this afternoon. I've got some guys down to practice their shooting. They're not quite aware of what's going on, but I put on a course, a shooting course, a variety of shots, and what it's all about is actually just learning, perhaps, or improving our shooting skills. But I've got quite an eclectic mix of people here. I've got a chap called Keith, who's a really, really good shot. I've shot him a couple of times, don't know an awful lot about him. I've got a chap called Dom Holtam. I don't know who he is. He's some editor from some dodgy magazine, and he's actually my boss now, so be careful what I say. And I've got actually a local farmer. He lives about 3 miles that way on the Pembrokeshire marshes. He's called Robbie. But Robbie, he's a fox shooter. He's a typical farmer fox shooter. He's got a rifle. He just gets out there and just does fox control. So I've got quite a variety of people, different experiences, different skills, and it'd be fascinating to see how they get on.
So Dom is editor-in-chief of Rifle Shooter magazine, Robbie is a farmer, and Keith is a very accomplished competition shooter, stalker and rifle coach. They will have different ideas on how to approach each of Tim's 4 stages, from the pickup to wonky posts. They can't use the same position twice, and some of the stages will be timed.
Got a typical situation here. We're walking across the field. This could be at night time, the daytime, doesn't matter. And we can be walking onto target, all right? And you can have one target in front of you, but unfortunately the other 3 targets are the other side of that gate. So I'm going to take you to the first one, and then we've got to go to that gate and shoot the other 3. All right? Okay.
Great.
Let's crack on. So we've got a typical problem with the bipod. Normally the ground's a bit too high in front of you. Poyser's showing off for a start. Okay, that kill? Yep. Okay, let's move on. Right, you've got 3 targets, Keith, and you've got to hit them from 3 different positions. Okay. So you got fox at the far distance there. Yep. You got a frontal fox down there.
Yep.
And you got something around the corner here, which you can't quite get to. And you're going to shoot it off the gate. Okay. Spot on. That sounds good. The challenge here is we've got a typical kind of gate situation. You come up, you spot a fox at night time with a spotlight, and you've got to work out exactly what position you shoot off. So I'm just trying to get these guys to think about their shooting position. That's a hit. That's a kill. And you've got a far fox now. Spot on. Great shot. Well done. That's a hit. Well done.
So off the gates, off the knees, sitting positions, they're all very stable positions, especially with a gate like this. I mean, it's rock solid. So far, so good. That's all.
Did anybody else get down on the bipod and realise they couldn't see the first fox?
Yes.
That's fine, okay.
Right, boys. Once again, we're night shooting. Typical situation, we're out with the old pickup. We want 4 different shooting positions. Well done, Robbie, that's a kill. Well done. Well done, spot on. That's a hit, isn't it? Well done.
The truck is a climbing frame with smooth bits and ledges that can help and hinder. but it
Yeah,
definitely
go for it.
inspires debate. Then there's shot acquisition.
That's a hit. Well done. I just find naturally, I just naturally go to it now, boom, and I'm more or less on
That's
it.
because you keep your eye on the target. A lot of people, when you get experience, you keep your eye on the target and you bring your gun and your glass with binoculars as well to the eye. A lot of people who are less experienced, they're looking down at their gear, then they back up, and that's why they can't find it. You
Right.
keep your head still and your eye on it, and then you bring up to it.
Comes up.
Yeah, and that's what you do, and that's what
Yeah.
people with experience do. But that whole thing of looking down, faffing about, hang on, I've lost it.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
And that's where high mag is sometimes not your friend,
Exactly.
isn't
Not
it?
your
Because
friend.
you've got such a small field of view.
Yeah, and it magnifies your wobble.
Then it turns out Keith hates sticks.
I think a lot of stick faff goes on with stalkers as well. I mean, on a
Stick
stalker.
faff?
Stick faff. You know, they've got the quad sticks lately, and there's this whole, hang on a minute, and you're like, oh man,
Just get on and do it.
you know, and it's just too much stack faff. And then there's this whole clattering noise going on and everything else. And I just think,
But is that a
Go.
product? Is that a product of having so much gear nowadays? Yeah, you go back to 20 years ago, you just had simplistic gear, but now you got flipping range finding this, twiddle dee, twiddle da.
Rucksack and rifle series again, Tim.
So we have all the gear and no idea. But perhaps things are getting too complicated, where the person doesn't instinctively go up and just shoot something. I don't know,
agree.
just an observation.
There are most people I shoot or take out, they are terrified of standing unsupported. They will not do it. They'll avoid it like the plague.
Yeah.
In fact, they won't shoot without sticks, period. And if you ask them, look, you know, if you've got low cover tree, but you could look around the corner by kneeling down and taking a nice stable kneeling down shot, they won't do it. They can't. They can't. They've never practiced kneeling down.
Yeah.
They've never practiced sitting. It's standing up with sticks consistently or down with a bipod, and you're wasting opportunity.
Yeah,
In my
okay.
opinion.
Next, up a wobbly high seat.
God, who made this?
This is the typical high seat.
From here the guys need to stretch the
Hit.
barrels.
Well done.
Do they know enough to hold over, or will they dial in? Then there's the
That's got it.
target
Well
just
done.
25 yards away. Where do you shoot that?
That's hit, well done.
All of the shooters do extremely
Hit,
well,
well
but
done. Good
Dom
shot.
takes this one. The problem target
Low.
was the closest. With all that technology, the one that
Miss.
flummoxed them was the sitter.
Hit. These scopes nowadays, we've got elevation, we've got windage adjustment, we've got parallax, we've got zoom, and we've got the ocular focus. There's a lot of things there, isn't there?
Yeah, but most stalkers and most field shooters don't touch most of it. They're in fact, a lot of people I know are terrified of the scope. They get it set up by a gunsmith and they don't touch it again. So, you know, a lot of those features are wasted. And parallax is really important because if you move your head on the stock, of course, you know, effectively you're moving the crosses.
But parallax only really comes into longer range, 250, 300 yards
Correct,
maximum.
yeah.
So really,
or much shorter, because the airgun boys
That's
really
true.
like to have those low adjusting parallax.
That's how they do their range estimation, isn't it? When it's
Yeah.
in focus as well. So,
So what about magnification? Because I know a lot of people all they do is they work on high mag all the
to a
time.
mag.
And,
Yeah,
you know.
actually, I think I used to be guilty of that. I'd be sort of 25 power, sort of, deer stalking. But the thing is, for follow-up shots and so forth, I really wanted to count the hairs on the animal and watch it going. But for follow-up shots and so forth, the field of view is so limited. You tend to wind out. So I think it's more a question of thinking about the use case. Because for competition, you use high mag, you wind your mag on.
Yeah.
As well, so it depends on absolutely on the use case. I don't think anyone dials for windage when hunting in the field, even long range rabbits, things at 400, 500 yards. I think you're holding off, but you're certainly dialing for elevation at those sort of ranges and precise targets.
So on this one, Don, if I use you as a guinea pig, for a start, you zoomed out a wee bit.
Yeah, so I think I was probably on about 4 or 5 times
Okay,
magnification,
good
just
start.
because everyone else had struck low. And I probably would have been guilty of that if I hadn't watched the others, because I'm thinking it's around about 25 yards.
Yeah.
I was always told that 25 yard zero is similar to 100 yard zero. So I would have probably thought the strike would be close to, and I would have probably missed low. So I ended up aiming kind of halfway up its ears.
So from that point of view, why is a 30 or 25 metre target so hard to hit? So it's from the ballistics and the trajectory. Whereabouts is that? It's caught 3 of you out today, or 2 of you out.
So if you think about your scope, your bullet is your bullet path is not going up. People think it's kind of going up, but of course it isn't. It's just describing a parabolic arc, right? But your scope is intercepting that at your 0 point. And usually, as we just said, normally for 100 yards zero, you expect it roughly to be about 25 yards and 100 yards. It should be roughly about right, but we were all low.
Yeah.
So it does catch people out. I think you end up thinking you've got to compensate a little bit too much, or that you aim dead on because it's 25 yards.
Yeah.
And this is where familiarity with your gun and your ammunition and your scope is important, because just because you've read something on the internet or you've seen somebody else say something, it might not necessarily apply to your setup and the height of your scope above your bore, the ammunition that you use. So I think, again, it's another illustration of how valuable it is to spend some time practicing and getting to know your kit.
The third stage is sticks, and they're going to have to think carefully about how they mix it with the sticks.
We got a tripod here, which you can use as a bipod as well. So that's a fairly common thing we use. Most people use those. And we've got actually a pair of quad pods, which are, I think in the last 3 or 4 years, have become very, very popular, and they're very, very useful. They give you a lot more stable shooting position, and they're very versatile as well. So I think what we need to do is perhaps try them out. Once again, we are going to be shooting from these sticks, but Robbie, 4 different shooting positions.
Yeah. See, what I'd do here is I'd crawl on my belly until I was close enough to shoot it off the bipod pin.
So, and also you've got another row stuck up behind the trees there.
Okie dokie.
Well done, good hit. Great shot, well done. Great shot.
I have to say, I generally dislike shooting from sticks. I was always very short on confidence, but the quad sticks, cheating though they may be, according to Keith, make a massive difference in terms of confidence and stability. And where I live in Lincolnshire, where it's very flat, sometimes if you're shooting rabbits with the rimfire, just an extra 3 or 4 feet of elevation can make a difference between a safe shot and no shot at all. So really useful. I have kind of improved, or tried to develop a bit more of a technique, although I'm sure it still looks awful, and I'll be put right.
From Keith Stick Hater Poyser, we have a bit of technical assessment about how to use and not abuse the sticks.
Sticks, as with anything, they just add support to your position. So you shouldn't change anything about your position when you add support to it. So if you're sitting, for example, elbows on knees, your sticks, if you're using sticks, just take the weight of the rifle. You're not doing anything else that is different. Same for standing and for kneeling. So with this system, you see some people with sticks, they're hunched right over it, or they've got an exaggerated position like that, whatever it is. If you shoot in is a little short for me at the moment, but it's easily adjustable, I guess. So, if I stand like this and shoot standing, then I want to stay in that position or thereabouts with sticks. It just takes the weight of the rifle, and that's what gives the stability. I don't do anything artificial. Aids take the weight of the rifle. They shouldn't make you do anything artificial in your positions at all, and that will give you greater accuracy.
Lastly, it's Tim's pie-eyed posts. Each position works best for one of the targets in front, but which for which and how to keep stable.
So you can pick the most unstable one, perhaps, for the closest target, but I'll leave you that to decide. Good shot. Stop. It's a miss. Try again. Spot on. These posts here are just typical things we kind of fox shooters and deer stalkers use all the time. That's just tree, stump, and that's what it's all about. We just need to practice in different positions, not just off a bipod, perhaps. You know. And some of these positions are not very comfortable, but yes, you can take quite a good shot, an accurate shot with it.
Also, I don't think any of us, if we said I'm going to have an hour down the range, would have gone to this much trouble or spent this long doing it. But actually, when there's a group of people and you can learn from other people and you can have a bit of banter and a bit of a giggle while you're doing it, I think that's what makes it.
It's been an interesting experiment, and all the shots have discovered something new. You don't have to have acres of land to do this, just some imagination and a desire to give you and your rifle some special time. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you, Tim, for his shooting laboratory. Not a bad name for a series. Now, from shooting tests to just testing, it's David with the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. Athletes will have to get used to people shouting "bang" on the starting line as the EU wants member states to ban blank firing pistols. In the wake of terrorist attacks, the EU's reaction is to clamp down on the legal use of blank firing pistols. It points to the increased use of converted blank firers in crime. From 2003 to 2008, 21% of firearms recovered by UK police from crime scenes were recorded as converted replicas. A new film looking at rhino conservation and rhino breeding is being premiered at an American film festival. Called Trophy, it examines how farming wild animals and encouraging big game hunting in Africa can raise funds for conservation. It looks at people like John Hume, the world's largest private rhino breeder. Some conservationists criticise him for wanting to turn a wild animal into a commodity. We filmed something very similar with another big player, Pete Warren, who claims the animals could be lost in the wild in the next few years if trade is not legalised. Staying with films, and BBC presenter Chris Packham features in a new production. Last autumn, Mr Packham joined CABS, Committee Against Bird Slaughter, volunteers. Their plan was to expose the illegal bird hunting that takes place in Cyprus. Apparently the full film is coming soon. UK police have taken to the skies, but not in the traditional way. Devon and Cornwall have launched the first police flying squad, which is a new collection of drones. Inspector Andy Hamilton said that using drones to capture still or video images is helpful in finding missing people and to combat wildlife crime. 2 hunting YouTube stars have been arrested for poaching offences. Ricky Mills and Jimmy Duncan make the Hunting in the Stick show that also goes out on the Pursuit Channel in the USA. One of their viewers noticed that they were hunting elk where they shouldn't have been. They've been slapped with a 15-year hunting ban, their names have been entered into the Wildlife Violator Compact, and all videos deleted from their channel. And finally, the creators of Wallace and Gromit and the Chicken Run have animated some bunny bashing. The new teaser trailer for Early Man, which is in cinemas in 2018 AD, has been released, and the section they've chosen to preview is a rabbit hunting scene. Early Man tells the story of courageous caveman hero Doug, played by Eddie Redmayne, as they unite their tribe against a mighty enemy to save their home. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. Now let's see what you lot have been up to. We're back with a new Hallo Charlie.
Hello Charlie, got my UK Shoot Warehouse magnet today and shot my first pigeon flying with a 12 bore today.
Hello Charlie, Paul from Devon, out on the last day of the season, just made the Landover, a little scratch around.
Hello Charlie, just spent another couple of hours on the squirrels. We've had 4 in the bag. Happy days.
Hello Charlie, this is Mark from Nebraska, middle of the United States. Just wishing you well with the show, I really love it. And we're out here in early January for a late season pheasant and quail hunt. Not a lot of luck, as you can see, but the weather is a little cold, -15, but the pups are having a good time.
Hi Charlie.
We're out hunting with our dads. We're in the hard that we have to hide, and me and my dad have a competition going, and so far I'm winning.
Girls rock.
That's it. Please send me your Hallo Charlies via Facebook, YouTube, Dropbox, or email charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Thank you for those. Please keep them coming and we'll do another one in the next few weeks. Now the chickens may be free to roam, but it means closer encounters with the wildlife. These free-range chickens may have the run of the place, but they also have to run the gauntlet. This farm in Leicestershire may offer chickens a 5-star start in life, but a gut-busting, all-you-can-eat buffet for the local fox population at the same time.
They're very, very proud of their free-range status and the welfare of the birds. As you can see, they've got heat, water, plenty of food, and this isn't your typical operation. There's another
you can see the floor.
Yes.
Ryan Charlton, Technical Supremo at gun importer Highland Outdoors, has taken on this place and is making a big impact. So much so that the farmers have helped pay for new digital kit. Joining Ryan tonight is Paul Hodson, another mad keen fox shooter who also enjoys a thermal NV combo approach. But it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Well, I don't know about you, but it's absolutely transformed my fox shooting.
Yes.
I mean, completely. I mean, I've gone from shooting 60 foxes a year to trebling that. Purely and simply because it's just, You spot them out to 1,000 yards.
Yeah, it's a game changer. There's no hiding from them, and for places like this where they are a major issue, it's very important.
What do you think about people who say it's slightly unsporting?
I don't know many people who shoot foxes for sport.
Well,
It's generally a pest control thing. They're shot for a reason.
That's my argument, that when people do say that, oh well, we do it the old-fashioned way with lamps and that's more sporting, I'll go, well, I don't do it for sport, I do it for pest control. We're here to do a job. We want to make sure that the job is done as efficiently and as cleanly as possible. You know as well as I do with the rifles that we use, the ammunition that we use, that the fox doesn't even near the bang.
Oh, exactly. I mean, going back onto the kit, I mean, you're using your faithful
6mm 284 Brock and Norris custom rifle. It's a hell of a bit of kit, and it's pushing a 70 grain bullet at around about 4,000 feet a second, which is when you're using night vision, Starlight Archer with a Starlight Dragonfly, with one of the superb Nico Sterling 10 to 50 by 60 Diamond Kings. Is that right?
Yeah, Diamond.
Thank you.
Big Nico, well done. I'm going to be using my trusty Hauer 243.
Yep.
Again, it's another that's come out of Brock and Norris. I use this rifle a lot. Night vision wise, I recently moved over to a digital system, so I'm using a Drone Pro 10 times. It's so far absolutely fantastic. It gives a beautiful, clear picture.
Yep.
So I think what we need to do is walk up here and I can point out the boundaries and the shoot and no shoot areas as well.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Can't wait. Yeah, brilliant.
So, with plenty of kit and essentials like flasks, that'll be 12 sugars for Paul, more about his sweet tooth later, we head to the Fox box.
This is probably one of the best fox boxes I've ever shot out of. The only thing that I'm a bit disappointed, he hasn't got a kettle.
Now, this static approach to fox shooting is not everyone's bag. Some prefer to take the party to the fox. Both Ryan and Paul are watchers, waiters and baiters.
We often find that foxes are better at telling the time than most humans are, and if you know or you've had information from the farm or landowner or whoever that they've seen a fox at a particular time, at a particular place, you start baiting that. You can guarantee within 2 or 3 nights you'll park up or you'll come into your fox box. Foxes will appear. I had a guy phone me up the other day, Sam. He said the fox is there on the trail cam at 9 o'clock. I waited at 9 o'clock, nothing came at 6 minutes past 9. He must have been putting his makeup on or something, because he turned up at 6 minutes past 9 and we shot it. And he's been after that fox for months, but it's just knowing where the foxes are. It's knowing the habit, and sometimes you just get a feeling for them.
As the light fades, the pulsar thermal spotters deliver heat sources that offer remote glimmers of hope, only to reveal themselves as badgers and hares. This waiting lark means that with a cocktail of sugar and caffeine, the conversation drifts, not to important matters of the day, but Jaffa cakes and sweet memories.
No, Jaffa cakes are the all time of day snack.
But they're an all kind of day snack where you don't need a drink with them because they are moist enough to eat.
Yes.
But so addictive that you don't ever have to store them anyway.
They're more addictive than Class A drugs.
Jen brought me a meter, you know the meter one you get? Yeah, that was just when
you just sword swallow?
Yeah, it's just got. Johnny, you've got to have a drink with hobnobs.
Hobnobs with tea, most definitely.
Well, we used to call them Duncan.
We've established that wagon wheels are, in fact, the biscuit to have with your late night coffees.
I've got no idea where I haven't seen any foxes.
After an hour of false alarms, Ryan heads off to another hot spot behind the fox box, which he has also baited with chicken pieces and liquidised dog food. Even though we have no light sources, we can't ignore the fieldcraft.
With thermal and night vision, it's never going to replace good fieldcraft. You know, we've come in tight down this hill, we've come in tight to the hedge, nice and slow and low, to avoid being skylined and what have you. And even with all the technology we've got, you can't get away from the fact that I'm a big 18-stone bloke. I stand out, so good fieldcraft is essential to be successful when we're out controlling the foxes.
Ryan starts to call, but a distant shot suggests Paul has had some luck.
I'm going to drop Paul a text now so as he knows that we're coming. Again, safety first, last and always. We've both got to know where each other is all the time. So we'll drop Paul a text and see what he's got for us.
It's a healthy looking dog fox.
Fox down, well done. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. 178 yards is what I've lasered it at, so decent shot.
Nicely done.
In this wind especially. It's quite a nice crosswind that I was, but to be honest with the 6mm 284, didn't need to hold over or do anything with wind drift. It's just that kind of distance, point and shoot.
Yeah.
Job done.
Well done, mate. We'll sit up for a little bit longer, have a coffee, and see if we can't add some more to the tally.
That'd be nice.
Thanks, Chief.
You're welcome.
Ryan has an excellent relationship with the farmers, and they know he's not just a fox shooter. He's that other pair of eyes, good for farm security, animal welfare, as well as saving them money by keeping their livestock safe from harm. Thank you to Paul and Ryan for inviting us to come and film. Now, from the badger-filled fields of Leicestershire to the wider world of hunting and shooting on YouTube, it is Hunting YouTube. This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting and shooting videos that YouTube has to offer. YouTube has gone Kiwi crazy this week. Did you know 166,000 people in New Zealand go hunting? The Red Stag Roar is currently underway, what we call the Rut, and the New Zealand Mountain Safety Council has put out this bossy but surprisingly useful film to highlight hunter safety. Seeker hunting at its best in the Kawika Forest Park in New Zealand. Backridge Butcher takes Sam the Spud Seeker Stag hunting, helicopter in, and lots of exercise tracking a good stag which they find. I can't resist a film by New Zealander Clay Tall Stories. This is a trailer for a full film out on the 4th of April 2017. It has all the top Kiwi hunting YouTubers, Wild Places, Wild Game, the Kiwi Bushman and Clay Tall Stories doing their best to bag a red stag. It is not just the Red Roar. New Zealand is the place for dog work on feral boars. This classy film by NZ Wild Things shows. Boars of Summer, its title sounds like a rock album. Matt Dubber goes full bore in this film. The South African famed for his airgun videos is stepping up his big bore rifle shooting with a warthog hunting film. Back in Europe, Fcha.nl is after chamois in the Bijakovo Mountains of Croatia. This is part 2 of the hunt. Want to find out how Americans keep producing record whitetail bucks? On this episode of Deer and Wildlife Stories, Keith Warren makes a film about deer farming and learns some of Southern Veterinary Service's secrets. And finally, Usually Shooters, Byron and Daryl pace on fishing and why they can't stand salmon farms. The demise of Loch Marie was commissioned by Salmon and Trout Conservation Scotland and charts the disaster that is government policy towards wild salmon on Scotland's west coast. That's it for this week. I have put all these films into a playlist for you. Click on the link or go to bit.ly/huntingyoutube382. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, email me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. We have our own super films out this week, Fieldsports Africa and Airheads. In Airheads this week, Rich Leonard is out on the farm pest controlling doves and guinea fowl in South Africa. Meanwhile, Jamie Chandler is after a sneaky rabbit, ironically, while he's taking his pet rabbit to the vets. Click on the link on the screen to see how they are both getting on. And in Fieldsports Africa, Rich Leonard is back and he's hunting another small furry animal. This is the Dassie or rock hyrax. Plus, we're up in Durban for the Swarovski Optic Steel Gong Challenge, a test of shooting for professional hunters. Click on the link on the screen to watch Fieldsports Africa. We are back next week. If you haven't done so already, please go to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube. You can pop your email address into our register page and we'll contact you about this programme, Field Sports Britain. It's out 7 PM UK time every Wednesday. And this has been Field Sports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.